We find ourselves living in very difficult times today. It seems as the day passes, we wait to hear more and more how many more people are going to suffer from this terrible calamity. The question is that a person can feel a real sense of helplessness. We're sitting in our homes, just protecting ourselves. What is it that we can do in order to help? Of course, we know that a person has to try to be mispalel, has to pour out his heart to Hashem for help. But it seems that such a global catastrophe is so big. What could my own tefillas help? And of course, we know the power does not reside with the individual, but rather with all of us together. As the Gemara tells us in Brachos, Ein HaKadosh Baruch Hu moes b'tfilasin shel rabin. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is never disgusted with the tefillah of the group. HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves the tefillah of the many. When we come together, when each individual person pours his heart out to the Rabbonu Shalom by connecting to others in the tzibur, in the Minyan, with the other group, with others in the group, then they can go ahead and make a difference. It's the tefillah of the rabbin, the tefillah of the tzibur, that can have the impact. In fact, so powerful is the tefillah of the tzibur that Reb Yitzchak challenged Reb Nachman. Reb Nachman was sick and Reb Nachman could not come to shul. And Reb Yitzchak said to him, "Why didn't you come to shul?" And Reb Nachman said, "Well, because I was sick." And Reb Yitzchak said to him, "Well, why didn't you try to gather 10 people and bring them over into your house?" Reb Nachman said, "Well, it was too difficult for me." And Reb Yitzchak said, "Well, why didn't you send someone to shul to find out what time the tzibur, what time the minyan was davening, so you could daven at the same time?" Reb Nachman said to him, "Why would I need to do that? Why do I need to daven at the same time as others?" Comes along Reb Yitzchak and tells him, because it says, "V'ani tfilasi l'cha Hashem eis ratzon," that I want in eis ratzon. What does an eis ratzon mean? A time of will. What's the will of Hashem? And the Gemara says, "Zman shatzibur mispal." When the tzibur comes together in daven. So even if you're not with the minyan, but you daven at the same time as the minyan, so important is the idea of davening with others. The question though is that okay? My own personal tefillah alone is not enough. I need to combine with others. But what do we do now? We're all forced into our homes. No one can daven with a minyan. How can we possibly fulfill this concept of the tzibur, of the tefillah of the minyan, the tefillah shel rabin? Perhaps we need to rely on the great tzaddikim. There's a great story of the Baal Shem Tov. That the Baal Shem Tov every day used to spend many, many hours in his Shmona Esrei. And it is said about him that he used to ascend from world to world to world, all the way up to the Kisei HaKavod, all the way up to the highest Eichal, to the highest level, the highest sanctuary. And one time, all of his Talmidim would sit there, as you can imagine, it took him a long time, and would wait and wait and wait for the Baal Shem Tov to finish his tefillah. So one time, the Talmidim got together, and they said, "You know what? Let's go make Kiddush. Let's go home. Let's spend some time doing our own things. And we'll make sure to come back. We know it takes him a long time to daven. We'll make sure to come back. And we'll get back in time before he finishes the Shemona Esrei." And so that's exactly what they did. The next day, the Baal Shem Tov started his long tefillah. And all after everyone else finished their Shemona Esrei, they went home. And when they came back with what they thought was enough time in order to get back before the Baal Shem Tov finished, they walked back into shul and they saw the Baal Shem Tov was just sitting there. And they said, "Rebbe, what's going on?" And the Baal Shem Tov said, "I started to ascend from one level to the next level to the next level in the spiritual worlds. And then suddenly, I didn't even know what was going on. And the next thing I knew, I fell and came all the way back. And I looked around and saw that you all had left. You think it's my tefillah that allows me to ascend? It's not my tefillah. It's all of you that are there with me, us together, that allows me to ascend." So we see that even the tefillah of a tzaddik is not enough. We still need the tefillah shel rabin. So the question is, how do we fulfill that? You know, Even though every day we're zoche, we merit to daven, tefillah of Rabbim, tefillah of a Minyan together, it is true that we are physically together in the same room. But is that really the greatest fulfillment of tefillah shel Rabbim? We know that the second Beis HaMikdash was destroyed because of sinas chinam. In fact, the Gemara says we really were doing everything right. We were doing the mitzvahs, we were learning Torah, we were even doing chesed. But in our hearts, we did not love one another. We had sinah, hatred for one another. So what do we see from this Gemara? Unity is not just an action. Unity is not just physically being together. Unity is truly feeling connected to one another within a person's heart. That is real tefillah b'tzibur. That is real tefillah of a minyan. You know, we're all forced into our homes. And we are in a time of eis tzara, in a time of tremendous pain and suffering. When each and every one of us digs down deep into our heart and fulfills the true mitzvah min ha-Torah of tefillah, which the Ramban says is tefillah to Hashem in a time of need, then each and every one of us can feel the tsar that we're going through, that each and every person is going through, then we can really connect, davening for each other. If you ask me, there is no greater level of tefillah b'tzibur. Greater is the tefillah in our own homes, feeling in our heart connected to every Jew, than tefillah in the same building where our hearts are in very, very different places. We should be zoche to be able to tap in real to the true tefillah shel Rabbim. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu should hear each and every one of our tefillahs collectively as a whole. And we should be zoche to be able to rise up from this and to be able to come out of this calamity. And Mashiach should come with Binyan Beis HaMikdash from here v'yameinu. Amen v'amen.